How to choose the right social media platforms for your brand. To be honest, I think you need to be on all the platforms, but it's really the approach to each platform that you should be thinking about. First, you have to have clarity on your brand message and your niche category. So who it is you're actually talking to. Who are you trying to target? You got to start there first. Then it's easier to approach each different platform and figure out how to speak to the people that are on those platforms. First and foremost, Facebook obviously is the largest platform of them all. Some people might say, oh, nobody's on Facebook anymore. It's only old people. It's crusty. Pick a season, pick a year, pick a time, right? There's talk about TikTok getting taken down. I would say don't get caught up on that. Think about how do I be effective on this platform is the way you should be thinking, not, oh, this platform's not relevant or whatever, because why would you not want to maximize your reach? If there's eyeballs on Facebook and eyeballs on TikTok and eyeballs on Instagram and on it goes, you want to capture as many of those eyeballs as possible, but pay attention to what the consumers are consuming and what type of content they're consuming for each respective platform. The community aspect of Facebook is like no other. So what's special about Facebook is you could build groups and you could build a community on there for yourself based on your specific category or your niche. And there's a lot of power in that because you can interact with people at a large number. We have clients and friends that work with us through musicians who have built huge communities on Facebook because it's very approachable and a lot of people live on there from every corner of the earth, and it has that aspect to it that I think is really, really special, and you could run ads through there. Plus, Facebook owns Instagram. So, I mean, I'm guilty. I go on Facebook and I live in Facebook groups for horror, for books, and I find out a lot of stuff from Facebook. It's a great opportunity for you, a great place to build a community, and I would say that more than anything is probably the best feature about it right here and now, especially for somebody that's coming out and trying to build a personal brand from scratch. It's a great place to start. It's free and you can start right away. You could set all the guidelines, all the parameters. You can make it private, you can make it public. That's how we find a lot of people in our niche. We work in videography, production, and editing. A lot of filmmakers and film nerds are on there. And that's how we find them, because they all work together because they have specific interests. Probably my favorite and the most sexy of them all is Instagram. The way I describe Instagram is it's the sexy brand, you know what I mean? It's the modern day magazine, it's the modern day Cosmopolitan. So it's the most polished and sexy. You have an opportunity to put a bio on there. You have a link, you could do a link tree, which could lead you to all your other stuff. Instagram and Facebook have come out and told us that the majority of people live in DMs and live in stories. That's where people spend the majority of their time. So that's where a lot of their focus is, and people a lot of times aren't even talking on the phone anymore. They're just talking in DMs. We interact with a lot of our clients through DMs. We get a lot of business through DMs. We do quite a bit through the DMs. So I would say that one of the most dominant features and the greatest features of Instagram is the DM feature. The magic of Reels is the discovery page. So over time, just in volume's everything. Doing videos in volume and at scale, eventually you're gonna dump into a specific category. The algorithm is going to populate the consumer and look at whatever their consumable content is, and eventually you might get lucky and you might pop into their discovery and they might click on your video and end up at your page. So the discovery feature and the messaging feature of Instagram is probably the two greatest features in my opinion, and I think it's the sexiest. Twitter made Donald Trump the president. They had to kick his ass off of Twitter because he was on there talking shit so much. That's what I like about Twitter, is if you prefer the written word, which a lot of people do, they're readers, they like to write, they like to send messaging. And if you just have those thoughts that come into your head, they pop into your head, they fly into your head, these impulses that you have, you just dump them on Twitter. Great. I love Twitter. I'm a UFC fan. When the UFC goes down, guess where I'm at? I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter because they're all fighting with each other, talking shit to each other, all the different fighters and different fans and everything. I love it. So it's like a community of the written word, in that there's an interactive element to it and a community element to it. There's an opportunity there to sort of target those communities and target those areas so you can start communicating with people and connecting with people in your specific niche, and then talking about your specific area of proficiency and expertise, but there's no limit to the amount of times that you can post. The same thing there is volume is everything. You gotta be everywhere all the time, in my opinion, especially if nobody knows who the fuck you are. LinkedIn, it's like the business to business place. It's where businesses leave. It's everything business. It's like a conference room. I think LinkedIn is super important if you're trying to connect with other businesses, if you are a business, other vendors. We haven't found data or proof that direct to consumer, it's not as great of a platform for that. I think Instagram and TikTok and Facebook have been a better platform for us to get direct to consumer. To me, I kind of categorize it like in corporate. It's like a corporate showroom is how it feels to me, like a big business card, right? We talk about this awareness, like if you're everywhere all the time, people are gonna go, oh, I saw that dude. If at least you get that out of LinkedIn, then it's probably worth it. Like if people go, oh, I saw your logo, or oh, I remember the article, oh, I remember that. It might not lead to a direct conversion. That's another thing that people get stuck on social media is they're like, oh, well, I didn't get a conversion. I didn't get a direct conversion out of that, but that's a foolish way to think about it. You should think globally about awareness and eventually it leads to conversion. Where the conversion happens is irrelevant. Being on platforms that are free to gain attention is the magic and the secret. So LinkedIn is obviously somewhere you should be because it's free. Yeah, if there's a reason that you're actually using LinkedIn, and I'm sure Gary Vee would say something about this, look, I think LinkedIn's great and a lot of people are there, but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of junk mail. Like when I was a kid, my dad would have this big giant pile of junk mail. It literally reminds me of that. I just get flooded. So many DMs, automated DMs, I can't even keep up. It is absolutely out of control. TikTok is the viral platform. It's the platform of youth, but not only youth, of older folks now too. Adults are starting to come in there, and TikTok is taking a huge market share. I know there's a lot of controversy around TikTok right now. There's billionaires trying to buy it in the United States because they want it so bad, because they understand the power of TikTok. It's absolutely positively addicting, which can be good and bad, but for businesses, it's a good thing. But if you go viral on TikTok, it's everything. And people have gone viral there for so many different reasons, so many different ways, and in so many different categories. But the mindset of virality on TikTok is probably the best way to approach TikTok, is because if you crack that virality code, then it opens up all these other doors for you. And now there's a tremendous opportunity there for creators to make money, which is great. So if you're just a straight creator and you're a solopreneur, TikTok is an excellent place to make money. They're starting to now pay people based on views and everything else. You can do brand ambassador opportunities. There's so much you could do. We found someone that works with us on there. She still works with us to this day. It used to only be short form, but now it's long form. And the long form video on TikTok gives you an opportunity to make money. I believe it has to be over a minute in order for you to make money, in order for that box to get checked. So look into that. It's important and don't miss out. But don't get onto platforms for the sole purpose of making money from the platform. That's ridiculous. You make content to be on these platforms to build awareness, to capture traffic so they can lead to your offering, which is somewhere else, which is in your hopefully well thought out and well planned and well organized niche business that we helped you create and design. If you need us, let us know. We love Pinterest, and we normally use it only during the holidays. It is a great place to be. The feeling that I get from Pinterest is like wives and people go to Pinterest for ideas, they create collages, and then they convert it into their own house, but they're not going, oh, I got that design from this place and now I'm gonna go buy it. I see it as an inspiration board, and that people go there for inspiration to decorate for Halloween, decorate for Christmas, decorate for a party, figure out how to design a cake, whatever it is, or inspo, or they're doing their dream board or whatever. We haven't found a massive benefit for viewership, for exposure, for conversion for our specific categories. This is perhaps my favorite. Because we meet people all the time that they're like, man, I gotta get on social. And then they're like, yeah, I got it figured out. I got a guy. One fucking person to do all your shit. Film, edit, color grading, posting, everything. It's too much. You ain't gonna do it with one person. Now, if you're bootstrapped and you're just starting out, I understand. But if you're really serious about scaling and you're really serious about business, which we assume if you're coming to us, or we assume if you're getting on social that you're serious about what you're doing, don't underestimate the resources and bandwidth necessary to grow and scale on social. We have 3 cameras on us right now with 3 stands, and it ain't done after this. They gotta take the cards out. They gotta color grade it. They gotta match the sound to it. They gotta cut it up. I probably made mistakes. They gotta fix that. They gotta tell a good story with it. They gotta add captions. They gotta do this, they gotta do that. It's like, come on, man. Like, don't underestimate the amount of work that it takes to make it sexy so you stand out. Now, if you want your shit to suck and look like you're looking through a dirty fishbowl, then have at it. But I don't want my stuff to look like a 1997 mattress commercial. I'm good. So therefore, you need help. You need help. Guess what? You're gonna need help. So we really encourage people to find experts in specific categories. Right here, we're experts over here at Dorothy House. We'd love to help you with your copy, with your video, with your editing and everything in between. You don't wanna underestimate this. It's a lot of work. Obviously, you have to have a budget. I always tell people, take your top line revenue, 6 to 8% of your top line revenue at a minimum is what you should be deploying on social. Call it advertising and marketing. It's the same thing. If you're spending money on anything else, then that's not very smart. So you do the math. Now measure that to make sure that you're seeing results, but you got to give yourself time. Platform analytics and tools. People always talk about analytics. I'm like, dude, open up the phone, go like this. You click on your thing and there's a little button that says view insights. It's like every social platform has the analytics baked right in there. That's what's great. And then figure out what works. So give it a period of time. Post some videos, post some content. The stuff that performs really well, repurpose it and post it again. If it performs really, really well, you could put money on it, an ad spend. You put an ad spend on one of your posts, you can pick. Do I want to get more followers? Do I want to get more engagement? Do I want them to go to my website? Do I want them to reach out to me? It lets you pick and decide. You could run it for 3 days, for 5 days, for a week. You could spend $5 a day, $10 a day, as much as you want. But it's important to test and kind of try things out to see how they work and what works and see what your audience is responding to. But you gotta start. You have to start, and once you start, you can't stop. Start now. Now's the time. Don't wait. So I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear which one works best for you, what your opinion is about each particular platform. And so if there's any insight that you have or you want to give me some feedback, I welcome it. If you're enjoying these videos, I'm going to be making them every week. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing a ton of free value as much as I possibly can because I want to help people and give away as much value as I possibly can. As I learn stuff, I want to share it with you to help save you time and money and frustration, the stuff that I dealt with along the way, and that's my purpose here. So I'd love to work with you and I'd love to hear your comments, so feel free to reach out.